everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Faith. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite makeup palettes of all time. And this is not just eyeshadow palettes, so this is all different kinds of palettes I have. Obviously, yes, some eyeshadow palettes, but also blush palettes, contour palettes, highlight palettes, things like that in this video. These are my top palettes that I think are super cost effective, worth getting in a palette, and everything in these palettes is just hands down so good, so I think it's worth the money. Obviously, buying a palette is more expensive than a single bronzer or single eyeshadow, but you get a lot of value in that, and if everything in that palette is awesome, then it's totally worth it. So I'm going to share with you what those favorites of mine are. If as you watch you like what you see, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. All you have to do is hit the red subscribe button. It is totally free, and then just tap the notification bell as well if you want to receive notifications of when I upload videos. I should point out also that I did film a tutorial on this eye look using actually a new eyeshadow palette. It's not going to be in this video just because it's new. I haven't tested it out enough, but let me say it's really, really good. So if you want to see how I did this look, definitely make sure you're subscribed. It'll be the next video that goes up on my channel. That's it though, guys. Let's hop right on into my favorite makeup palettes. Alright, I'm going to start with, let's start with blush palettes. So I have two different blush palettes that I want to talk about, and the first is from e.l.f. This is such an oldie but a goodie. Like, I've had this for quite a few years now, but they do still sell these. And this is the blush palette. I believe it's in the deep shade. It doesn't say on the back, but I think it comes in a couple shades. And the reason I like this palette is because all of these blushes are super pigmented, and this is so affordable. I also love that 3 of them are matte, but then you get one that has a little bit of a shimmer in it. I'm not sure if that's really going to show up. I don't think it does, but basically it's just kind of like a satin finish. It's not super matte, but even the 3 matte shades, here I'll swatch these on my finger so you can kind of see the colors there. They're so gorgeous. You can literally, like, there's every undertone in here. There's a peach, a bright pink, kind of a coral, and then a deep mauve shade. So you can really just use this, especially for travel, if you have a ton of different lip options, but you just need some different blushes. I really love this, and I love how affordable it is. Now, the next blush palette I want to talk about is a newer release. It probably came out a couple months ago, but I have not been able to put this down, and I absolutely love it. It is from Carity, and it is called the Blush Bomb, and this is in the shade Coral Kaboom. So you will see in here, there are 2 blushes. One is kind of a shimmer, sort of like satin finish, really glowy type of blush, and look how pigmented that is. And then this orangey one is more of a matte shade. It swatches a little more coral, which is nice. I was a little intimidated by the shade of this at first, but it really is pretty. And then what I love about this palette actually the most is the highlight shade that comes in the palette. And this is called Perf. And it is literally the most bright light highlight. I love it, especially for when I'm really, really pale. This is absolutely awesome. I also have another one to show you. I like the Coral Kaboom one the most, but I also have Pow Pink, which looks like this, and I think they also make a burgundy shade one as well. So I will link, of course, everything down below. Carity, you do have to get online. That's the only place you can get Carity, is on their website. e.l.f., of course, I believe you could find this like in Target. I don't think you can get it online at Ulta. I don't know if it's in store at Ulta, but there's a few other places. I think some grocery stores and convenience stores carry e.l.f. as well. Okay, I'm going to move now on to a sort of face palette. This has some blush in it, but also some other products. And this is from Benefit. This is their Cheek Parade palette. Now, every year Benefit comes out with a different name for this palette, and there's sometimes a couple things switched around, but it's almost always the same. This is from a couple years ago. I will link down below the one they have out this year. They always have the Hoola bronzers in them. So this is the regular Hoola bronzer, which I love. This is a great matte bronzer. The Cheek Parade palette, this one came with the Hoola Light, and I think the one for this year has Hoola Light in it as well. And then it comes with 2 blushes and a highlight. This highlight is a little bit dark for me. I kind of can use it as just a shimmery mauve blush, but I love these 2 blushes. This is the shade Dandelion. It's just a nice kind of like dusty rose, and then California is my absolute favorite. This was a newer release a couple years ago, and I love that they put it in this palette. You can see right here, it's just a beautiful kind of glowy coral pink. So I love this. It also smells amazing, but I love that you get 2 Hoola bronzers, the Hoola and the Hoola Light, as well as 3 other shades. In here comes like a little brush. I just took it out, but that's what this hole is for. But I really love these palettes from Benefit. You get a lot for the cost. I think these are normally like $50 or something like that, but you get so many, and they're full size, like a full size Hoola, Hoola Light, and then 3 other types of shades. So I really like this. The quality is so good, and you get a lot for your money. Okay, next let's talk about a contour palette, and you guys have seen me use this all the time on my channel. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. This is hands down my favorite contour palette. I have gone through these 2 shades in particular 3 times already. The only reason I haven't gone through the bronzy shades is just because I guess I just don't need that much. I don't use that much because they're so pigmented. So I guess my only complaint would be how quickly I run out of these, but they're so good. These top 2 shades are called Levitation and Lyric, and I love using these to set my under eyes, brighten my under eyes, also like clean up contour and things like that. And then I normally stick to these 2 shades, Subconscious and Shadow Play, for my contour. This is a really nice cool tone shade for contour, and then this has a little bit more of warmth to it, so if you want to warm it up just a little bit and make sure you don't look super like gray, this is a perfect shade. I don't really use these 2 shades. They're just too deep for me. So in some ways this palette isn't completely used, but I love these 4 shades so much that I will repurchase this over and over again. The nice thing too is Kat Von D did come out with like interchangeable singles, so I've just repurchased these 2 and popped them back in there, and I can continue to use the original palette and use up these shades. But I highly recommend this. Your contour will never be patchy. This goes on so nice, and I just think it's a really, really perfect contour palette, especially these shades here. They brighten under the eyes so well. They make you look so awake, and it's very long lasting. It's really good at setting down concealer, so I love this. I take this with me every time I travel. I have to bring this. Okay, next let's mix it up a little bit and let's talk about a highlight palette. So this is another one you've probably seen on my channel a lot. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and this is the Sun Dipped Glow Kit specifically. All of their glow kits are gorgeous, but the Sun Dipped one is my favorite. I just find that these shades work best for my skin tone, especially these 2 right here. This is Summer. It is so intense. I love it. And this one is Moonstone, which I really like Moonstone. It's kind of a little bit more peachy. These are just the most metallic, reflective highlights I've ever used. Anastasia Beverly Hills seriously has amazing highlighters, and you can get this palette on sale like a lot of different ways. It's on Macy's on sale a lot. I think it might even be on sale right now for like $20 something. Totally worth it. I highly recommend this if you're looking for a highlight palette. This is hands down my favorite highlight palette of all time. Okay, I'm going to jump into an eyeshadow palette that also has some highlights in it as well. This is from BH Cosmetics. It is their Desert Oasis palette. This came out this summer, and it is amazing. This is also another affordable palette, which is so cool. These eyeshadows, you guys, are so good. And the neat thing about this, I love how it's laid out, because you get 2 larger size either transition shades, or you can use them as bronzers, these shades here. And then you also have a whole row of highlights, which is so fun. And this highlight in particular, this is called Mirage, this big guy right here. So pretty. It looks a lot like the Anastasia ones, and this is so much more affordable. Also, I did do a tutorial using this palette if you want to see it in action, but I will just tell you the mattes in here and the shimmers are absolutely amazing. This performs like a high-end eyeshadow palette. If you are looking for an affordable option for an eyeshadow palette right now, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. I love it. I think you will too. Okay, I have another Anastasia Beverly Hills product here, and this is an eyeshadow palette. I'm sure you guys have seen this. This is the Modern Renaissance palette. Kind of opposite of what I just said about the Desert Oasis palette from BH Cosmetics. What I would say about this palette is if you are looking to invest in a little bit of a higher end palette, this is definitely one I would recommend. So I think that this is around the $40 or $42 mark. And these shadows are really, really good. They're super pigmented and you definitely need to take your time when using this, but the outcome of this, like the intensity of the colors, like think about these gorgeous pinks, it's really, really amazing. Also, the shimmers are to die for. Like absolutely intense. That's Vermeer right there. So if you're looking to invest in a little bit higher end palette, I think that this one is really, really awesome. It's definitely my most loved high end palette. It's one I've used the most. So I really like it. I do think there's other affordable options that you could definitely go for, but if you have been dying to get a high-end palette and maybe specifically one from ABH, I would go with the Modern Renaissance. I think it's so classic and you can use it for so many different looks. I love that it has these light highlight shades but also a really deep brown if you want to smoke anything out. Okay, and the last palette I'm going to talk about today I could not leave out of this video. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and this is just everything you're gonna need in a palette. It's really amazing. And though I think this is like $38, so it's not super affordable for the amount of shades you get, even though it is like a full $40, almost as much as this, you get so many more shades in here, a lot of bright colors, and the quality is so good. I love these highlight shades. You guys have seen me use this on my channel a million times. I'll link some videos down below where I use this palette, but it's just so good. I love that you get a black, a ton of transition shades, a ton of browns. You also get pops of color. If you're just looking for a palette that could almost give you every single look you're looking for, I would go with this. It's awesome and I highly recommend this. So those are all of the palettes that I wanted to share with you. Let me know down below in the comments if you're interested in any of these in particular or if you've tried these. I would love to know if you guys feel the same or if there's any palettes that I didn't mention that you think are so, so good that I left out that maybe I've used on here and you thought would be in this video, or maybe a palette that I haven't tried that I should discover. Let me know down below in the comments if there's anything that I should try out myself. Again, don't forget that this eye look will be up on my channel this week, so stay on the lookout for that. Other than that though, guys, I love you all so, so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!